Hello Animorphs fans and welcome back to the Animorphs Reviews YouTube channel. Today we're looking at this thing here, the Animorphs Alliance Secret Flipbook. This was something that fans got if they signed up to the Animorphs Alliance fan club, which of course ran over 20 years ago, so long time ago. A few select people got their hands on one of these things, and I have one of them here with me today. It wasn't originally mine, because I believe it was only an American fan club thing, as far as I remember. Could be wrong. But I got this off eBay, and it was pre-owned. What's in this book? There are a lot of little quiz bits like crosswords and puzzles, and most of them have already been filled out, not by myself. So let's take a look at this, shall we? Just see what we were missing back in the day. Right, so hopefully the camera is all set nicely. There's the Animorphs Alliance Secret Handbook, K. Applegate. It's got slightly different coloration on both sides, but the first thing you'll notice is that on every other side of the page there is a morphing flipbook thing. And here, where it says high security, it says, watch Jake, Axe and Rachel morph before your eyes. And to do that, of course, we have to do a flip. So here's the flip. Yeah, the problem I've always had with these things is that the way pages work make it quite difficult to get it spot on, but you've got, which ones have you got? So you've got Rachel, Axe and Jake. Jake from the threat, Rachel from the visitor, and Axe from the decision. So, let's, you and me, go through this and just read what it has to say, see what we missed out on. So the Animorphs Alliance Secret Handbook, K.A. Applegate, classified information. Beware, do not let this handbook fall into the hands of anyone. Well, unfortunately, the previous owner of this did that, and now I have it. Thankfully, I'm not a yerk. So it's in good hands. Right, so, accept the power. Welcome to the Animorphs Alliance. You have been chosen to join us, Jake, Rachel, Tobias, Cassie, Marco and Axe, on a very important top-secret mission. The future of Earth, the future of the planet is in our hands, and maybe in yours. Oh, it's in my hands. It's great. You see, Earth is under attack. There has been an alien invasion. Yerks, slug-like creatures, are invading people's brains, controlling all thoughts and feelings. Well, they don't technically control feelings, really, per se. Okay. Same mistake was made in the Meet the Stars book, I believe. The entire population is slowly being turned into controllers, hosts for these Yerk parasites. And we can't even tell you who is a controller. Your closest friend could be one. Dear God! The Yerks have already taken over other alien races like the Hawk, Bajir and Geds. Although those aliens fought back with all their strength, nothing could match the power and trickery of the Yerks. The Andalites resisted the Yerks on their own planet. Some gave up their lives to try and save us and our planet. The Andalites resisted the Yerks on their own planet? No, I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm pretty sure the Yerks have avoided the Andalite homeworld so far. So yeah, again, Alliance, Animals, I mean, mate, whatever. It could be right, it could be wrong. We never really got that much detail in terms of that. Some gave up their lives to try and save us and our planet. Well, by some you mean one. Okay, you know the story. One night we were walking home from the mall and we passed through a construction site. It seemed ordinary enough until suddenly a spaceship dropped out of the sky. The door opened and a strange creature came out. Part human, part scorpion, part deer. This wounded alien, half man, half bear, half pig. I'm super cereal. Just reminds me of that. Who called himself an Andalite, died telling us his tale. He was a leader of his race, who had come with a warning for Earth. The Yerks had defeated other alien civilizations, and he didn't want the same thing to happen to us. And that's where the morphing came in. This Andalite, Elfangor, gave us the power to become any animal we touched. Suddenly we had the power to morph, and the power to fight, and maybe win the battle against the Yerks. It's true, we cannot trust anyone, but we want to trust you. Are you ready for a life of secrets? Are you ready for a life of danger? Are you ready to join us? Of course, morphing as any power comes with important rules, so that we need to follow. That means you too, so pay attention. So now we're going to get the 8 rules of Animorphs. I'm hoping I'm getting this in the right position. I think I am. So now we're going to get, the 8 rules of Animorphs. Official. Canon. So if we wanted to join the Animorphs, these would be the rules we follow. Number 1. A person can only morph into an animal that he or she has touched. With one touch, you can copy an animal's DNA. And with one touch, you have copied that animal's genetic code forever. Now you may become that animal at any time. It's not really a rule, it's... Yeah, that's... sort of. Rule number 2. If you stay in an animal form for more than 2 hours, you become trapped in that animal's form permanently. Number 3. You can morph only human to animal back to human, not from one animal to another. Rule 4. You cannot touch another Animorph in order to acquire his or her genetic animal patterns. Number 5. In an animal state, your mind remains intact, but so do the instincts of the animal. So if you're in a cat morph, balls of string and squeaky toys will fascinate you. If you're in horse morph, then you will likely panic at loud noises and fire. If you are in lizard morph, you will discover that spiders are delicious. Jake did in book 1, most certainly. Rule 6. An Animorph in Morph can communicate mentally with the other Animorphs by a form of telepathy called Thought-Speak, but only when in close contact, not over long distances. Unless, of course, you're Myrtle, in which case it doesn't really matter. You just Thought-Speak anywhere. And the TV show. Yeah. Broken rules, we could probably just say there were errors. KASUs and non-canon. Rule number 7. Morphing is tiring, even though it takes the Animorphs just minutes to change into a new shape. Cassie is a fast morpher and can change the fastest of all the Animorphs. Rule 8. Clothing is impossible to morph at first. And as Jake says, forget the shoes. He does actually. Why does he say that? Eventually, the Animorphs figure out how to include skin-tight clothing in their morphing. Yeah, forget the shoes bit. It says bookmark. It says don't morph your shoes. And I don't know why that's just associated with Jake now. It seems like the weirdest thing to have him say. Whatever. Yeah, those aren't technically rules. They're just statements of fact. Rule is do not do this. Like... Or the rule could be, if you're watching this video, you must press the like button. And I urge you to, please. That's the rule. Knowing these rules is a matter of life and death. Memorize them. Hide them from everyone. Remember, these rules cannot fall into the hands of the Yeerks, or else. Of course, these 8 rules are only the beginning of your Animorphs journey. Throughout this guide, you'll find everything you ever wanted to know about the 5 Animorphs, the Yeerks and Lights, and other aliens, and the real deal on morphing. Use these pages of Animorphs brain squeezers to test your knowledge as you read along. Keep track of your own Animorphs. That's a new one for the dictionary. Animorphs. Who is a controller in your neighbourhood? Do you notice signs of a Yeerk pool under your school? Have you made an attempt to acquire animal DNA lately? Keep track of all the details. You never know when the information will be useful. Yes, everyone is in really big trouble, but together we will stop this invasion. Together, we will fight. You still want to accept the power, right? If so, read on. I want to have this power. I will be responsible with it, and I won't do anything silly, or, I don't know, morph a tree. Because that's probably the first thing I'd try. Can you morph a tree? Let's find out. Theoretically, you can, because trees have DNA. So, and that's the prerequisite for morphing. There you go. So now the book will give you brain squeezers, which you can see that's not my handwriting. Seek and you shall find the secrets of the Animorphs. Unscramble the words to complete these animorphisms, then look for the unscrambled words hidden in the puzzle. So it goes through some of these. Nothing challenges me and survives. Spelt survives wrong, but fair enough. And then there's another one. You put them in there, so like acquired, secret. It's just typical like crossword, back of newspaper sorts of things. So let's move on to the next section. Animorphs, there's that word again, who we are. Who are we anyway? We're just 5 normal kids who got caught up in some galactic battle, right? Well, not quite. We are 5 kids from seemingly normal backgrounds, but we're anything but ordinary. Here are the facts in our own words. So this is straight from the horse's mouth. From the tiger's mouth first off, we've got Jake. I guess you could say that I'm the leader of the group, if we have to name a leader. I have brown hair and dark brown eyes. My mum says I'm cute, but I don't pay much attention to that stuff. Do parents tend to call their kids cute? Is that normal? It certainly isn't here in Britain. Is it an American thing? I don't know. I like to hang out at the mall with my best friend Marco and play video games. I wish life was still that easy. You see, I never wanted to be a hero. I never wanted to fight aliens. Who would? I wanted to be a Navy pilot or a doctor when I grew up. I still do. I mean, I'm on the honour roll at school. I can do anything I want, right? He wants to be He wants to be in the Navy. Get in. Nice one, Jake. This is why I relate to you. I have one brother, Tom. He's 16 and he used to be a basketball player. My mum, Nikki, that's not her name, but okay, is a freelance writer, and my dad, Greg, is a doctor. Again, it's sort of bouncing halfway between book and TV show. The problem with a lot of this stuff is it doesn't remain consistent. I think it's Steve and Jean in the books as his parents, and now it's Nikki and Greg, which are from the TV show, whereas a lot of this information is from the books alone, like mentioning the Geds, for example. He's a kid doctor, a paediatrician. I've got one pet, a golden retriever named Homer. He's my best buddy, apart from Marco, that is. Did I tell you that I'm cousins with Rachel, one of the other Animorphs? I am. She's pretty cool for a girl. Wow. Jake with the sexism going on in there. Girls can't be cool, except this one. This one's cool. Dearie me, Jake. Right, so here's Rachel, straight from the elephant's mouth now. I'm Rachel, as in Jake's cousin Rachel. I guess you could say that I am pretty, but that's not my fault. I look a lot like my dad, Dan. Okay, apparently was that his name? I don't remember. I have blue eyes and long blonde hair, and I'm tall and all that. But hey, I'm not a bimbo. It's what's in my head that matters, not what I look like. I love so many different things, my family, my best friend Cassie, and especially gymnastics. I'm pretty good at vaulting and the parallel bars, but I don't think I'll ever be an Olympic gymnast or anything like that. And I don't want to be a model either. I want to be a Supreme Court justice or a foreign correspondent or maybe a fashion designer. That's a strange and eclectic mix of career choices. I don't want to be a model or anything like that. I do want to be a fashion designer though. Yeah, it's sort of similar sort of stuff. Okay. I just want to be strong, whatever I do. I want to fight hard. I want to beat the Yerks so that I can have my normal life back. Sure, I want to hang out with my mum, Naomi, and my sister. Hold on a minute. Oh, I think Naomi... I can't remember, for Christ's sake. And my sisters, Sarah and Jordan. Again, it's mixed. Sarah and Jordan, there was only one sister in the TV show, so it's sort of bouncing between TV series canon and book canon, even when they're a lot of the times contradictory. It's weird. And go shopping, but more than anything else, I want to kick Yerk butt. I like to fight. Do you have a problem with that? Well, yeah, sort of, you know. End up in prison, Rachel. You might want to sort that out. Tobias, straight from the hawk's mouth. Now I have the sky. He's such a freaking emo, isn't he, Tobias? I mean, who says that? Tobias. Before this, I was a normal kid. No, you weren't. You weren't normal. Why is he lying? What is this? Tobias. I was born human. My name's Tobias. I was the kind of kid every other kid liked to pick on. I mostly kept to myself. I read. I like to daydream. Like what it would be like if I could beat up one of those school bullies instead of them beating up on me. More than anything else, I want to be a writer. Yeah, he's just a typical emo. It's weird. I had a very short emo streak at school. I went through that phase very briefly. So I never dyed my hair black or anything like that. I wasn't a really good student. I got C's and even a few D's, but I didn't care. My mum and dad, well, they're gone. I miss them. You miss them even though you never really knew them. That doesn't make sense, Tobias. How do you miss something that you didn't know? Tobias, you're having a night. Are you drunk while writing this thing? I lived with my aunt part of the time and my uncle the rest of the time. Sort of. I told one I was with the other and vice versa, and they never noticed. Not really. For now, I'm spending a lot of time in the woods behind Cassie's barn, hunting for food and riding the thermals. And now straight from the wolf's mouth, Cassie. More than anything in the whole entire universe, I love animals. I can morph faster than anyone else in our group. Rachel says I'm the best at it. It makes sense that I love animals, since both my parents are veterinarians. My dad, John, that's not his name, it's Walter, runs the wildlife rehabilitation clinic we have on our farm. My mum, Michelle Buck, is a zoo vet at the gardens, this big zoo and amusement park nearby. And me, I want to be a zoo vet like my mum and work with endangered species in Africa or South America. I would rather spend time with the animals than do my homework. I guess that's why I'm stuck with a B average. Oh well. It's not bad, Cassie. Well, one thing that annoyed me, there was no kid that just got straight Fs in everything. You know, that... Not that I would relate to that, because I didn't, but it would have been cool to have that kid who was just a bit dopey. You know, represent the stupid kids. But no, they are all... Oh, I got a B minus. Tears. Freaking nerds. I have a secret. Jake and I like each other, as in like. But who knows what will happen? I'll just focus on the animals for now, and the morphs. Now straight from the gorilla's mouth, Marco. I need to stop saying that. This whole thing is insane, and I'm over it in a big way, like over and out. These stupid yerks have a lot of nerve invading Earth. Somebody should tell them to get lost. Well, that's going to work, isn't it? Although I have to admit, I was the one who named us in the first place. Animorphs. I came up with that. I guess that makes me the smart one in the group. No, it really doesn't. Yeah, that's right. I've got the brains. And as you can probably imagine, all the girls think I'm pretty cool and incredibly cute. Except for Rachel, the warrior princess. She just doesn't think like a normal girl. I totally live for TV, video games, computers, and best of all, roller coasters. Amusement parks rock. School is okay, but I would much rather hang out with Jake at the arcade. I live with my dad. It's just the two of us since my mum died. She drowned a couple of years ago. Boating accident, they said. After she died, my dad couldn't deal with it. So he quit his job as an engineer. Now he's a janitor. Whatever. So this has obviously taken place before book 5, chronologically, judging by Marco's little rant there. So now you know the truth. We're 5 normal kids, like we said. You also need to meet a couple of aliens who have helped us too. Aximili, we call him Ax, is like an honorary Animorph. He's an Andalite who can morph. And Elfangor, well, he's the reason this whole thing started. He was the first one to ask us to accept the power. Aximili Esgaruth is still. I am Ax, the only Andalite who survived on Earth. Only one. Only. Cheers, Ax. He even writes in that way. The Animorphs are friends, my friends. They are helping me find Visser 3, the Yerk who killed my brother, Elfangor. I must find him or be dishonoured. On Erd. He killed my people and left me alone to die in the Andalite dome ship. Now he must die. Jake is my prince. He and the others helped me take human form. I took the DNA from Prince Jake, Rachel, Cassie and Marco. Humans are weak and slow and unstable, but they rule here. I must respect their power. Power! I am fast. Andalites are fast. I have strong legs and a deadly tail. I am strong. I will survive. And now we get a brief bit from Elfangor Cyrinial Chantul. Accept the power, yes. You must do this. You must all do this if you want to beat the Yerks. I am the Andalite War Prince. No, you were a prince. You weren't a war prince. Incorrect. Who crash-landed on Earth. You are all like my Ariths, or cadets, here on this planet. I have travelled through space and time. I have faced the terrible force of the Visser, who wants to take control of every human on this planet. I know what pain and destruction are in store for you. I have battled slithering Taxons and worse. I have travelled here so that humans can have a chance to survive this evil. I am breaking Andalite law when I give you the power to morph, but I do not care. Not if it saves you and the rest of the universe. So, awesome. We move on to a brain squeezer number 2, which is this thing here. And then the next section will be Together We Fight, Who the Enemy Is. Just got to quickly make sure that I'm still recording. Yes, I am. I've got 9 minutes before it explodes on me. This is basic stuff, isn't it? A couple of errors in here. It's sort of a chimera of the TV show and book lore in a number of ways. But, you know, it's just nice to have this. Let's read the next part. Who the enemy is. As an active member of the Animorphs Alliance, you must remain informed about the enemy living among us. Below are descriptions of the primary enemies you face. Be responsible to the rest of the Animorphs and record any sightings of these aliens or their ships or home bases in your neighbourhood. Beware, every alien you will see is a controller. The Yeerks have infested them all. As of Book 5, yes, pretty much, assuming we're at that level chronologically. Yeerk, grey-green slug creature called the Scourge of the Universe. Who called them the Scourge of the Universe? I don't think that's ever been stated. So, according to the Animorphs Alliance Handbook, their official title is Scourge of the Scourge of the Galaxy, not the Universe. Infest the brain of its prey, taking over free will, slowly taking over Earth. So this is where you write in sightings. Next one is Hawk-Bajir. Notice it's got it changes text style. So Yeerk is like that. Same with Taxons and Visser 3. But then Hawk-Bajir's got the Hawk-Bajir Chronicles font, which is a nice little touch. 7-foot tall monster with a head like a snake and horned blades. Giant ripping claws, making these creatures walking, stalking razor blades. Gentle and kind were not under Yeerk control. The kid that had this before me has apparently not seen any aliens, which is good. Very good. Taxons. Huge and slimy, with 16 pairs of legs along its body, twice the size of you or me. It's interesting that we get a specific number, 16 pairs. In the books, I don't remember if it ever actually gave a specific number, but there are times where it said hundreds of pincers, for example. I know pincers aren't legs, but it tends to just throw random numbers out. But this time it gives us an actual number. So take that as canon if you so wish. Always hungry, a flesh-eating cannibal with a round mouth filled with sharp teeth, so your average American. 4 jelly-like red eyes, but no head. Okay. Pretty sure do they have sort of a head? You pretty much say yes. Because else, where's the Yeerk? Where's the Yeerk gonna go? Where's the brain? So, I don't think that's canon. Visser 3, powerful, high-ranking general in the Yeerk chain of command, whose morphing ability allows him to acquire the genetic patterns of the grossest, most terrifying monsters in the universe, the only Andalite controller in the galaxy. Like humans, aliens have rules they must follow. Most of these rules revolve around the activities of the Yeerks and their controllers. Without these main principles, the Yeerks have no hope of taking over Earth. Know these well in order to defeat the slugs at their own game. Wasn't it Sun Tzu, who said stuff about keep your enemies close, or keep your friends close and your enemies closer, or know your enemy. That's what we're doing here. It probably wasn't Sun Tzu. Might have been. I've never read up on him. The 6 rules of the Yeerks. Number 1. Yeerks are called Yeerks in their natural slug state and controllers when they have taken over a host body. Then they are referred to in a hyphenated form. If one has taken over a Taxon, the Yeerk is called a Taxon controller. The Yeerk who took over Principal Chapman made him a human controller. They enter their human hosts through the ear canal and move into the brain. Rule 2. The Yeerks rely on Kandrona rays, a subatomic particle only found on their home planet for their nourishment. When travelling to different points in the galaxy, like Earth, they produce smaller, artificial Kandrona rays in Yeerk pools. Yerks must stay close to one of these pools. Rule 3. Every 3 days, Yerks must return to the Yerk pool, or die a slow and painful death. When they return to the pool, the Yerk drains out of its host's ear and soaks up nutrients from the artificial rays. While the Yerk is soaking up rays, the host is free and in his or her right mind, but is imprisoned so escape is not possible. Rule 4. A Yerk likes to target a person of authority or a young person, like Melissa Chapman, as its host. These are the individuals who are least likely to be suspected as controllers. Rule 5. Hold on, why are they saying Melissa Chapman? Because she was never turned into a host, and she's got no, that doesn't really make sense. If they really wanted to target Melissa Chapman, they would have gotten her ages. I suppose Chapman made a deal of, let's just not get into that. Too complicated. Well, whatever. Just carry on, me. Rule 5. A Yerk can take over a host voluntarily or by force. Most Yerks try to bribe the host because if a host is taken voluntarily, the Yerk doesn't have to fight a constant battle of wills. A bribe can be a promise of money or power, a promise of a cure for a disease, or a promise of revenge against one's enemies. And Rule 6, the Yerks have succeeded in controlling the galaxy by enslaving races of beings, the Taxons, the Hork-Bajir, and others. Yerks are very smart, but because of their natural form, they need a host organism to accomplish anything. Okay, so let's move on to the next part, which is Animorphing, the animal factor. When an Animorph takes the form of an animal, there are many factors to consider. These are the animal factors. As you observe different beings, different morphs in each of the books, think hard about the stages of transformation. Each change is marked by an experience through the feelings and instincts of that animal. Learn these instincts well. Animal talents and strengths are often more powerful than our own, even if we don't notice them right away. Observing and feeling these strengths will help us get closer to nature. Only then are we closer to saving planet Earth. Sorry, my brain's melting. So here we go. Dog. Sight's not too great, but has an incredible sense of smell. Right away, I knew my mum was making a waffle in the kitchen. I knew things I couldn't explain in human words. It was like being blind all your life and suddenly you can see. I ran over to Tobias and sniffed his shoe. So that's obviously Jake talking about his experience with the dog, and now he's going to talk about the green anole. Instinct is centered on food. No! I screamed inside my head, and suddenly the spider was inside my mouth. I could feel it fighting. I could feel the spider's legs squirming and fighting to get out of my mouth. I tried to spit it out, but I couldn't. The lizard's hunger for the spider was too great. So now Rachel talks about the shrew. Intense fear, no matter what. It needs to eat almost constantly to keep up its high metabolism. Hunger. I smelled nuts. I smelled dead flesh. I even smelled the maggots squirming on the dead flesh, and I wanted them. I know it's gross, but I wanted to eat those maggots. Dolphin. So it's coming from Cassie now. Knows echolocation, or how to communicate underwater with a series of sharp clicks to other dolphins, and they hate sharks. I heard something in those clicks. It was weird. It was kind of like hearing, only not. The clicking noises had hit something far off in deeper water. I sort of felt the sounds as they came back to me. I know, I cried, as if I'd just won a contest. It's a shark. Cockroach. Panics when it sees and feels bright light. Light, 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 run! Run from the light. Imagine being one of those race cars at the Indianapolis 500. Now imagine that instead of sitting in one, you are strapped face down underneath one. And ant, I believe, yeah, this is the last one. Colony members are blind and communicate through scent. Their members are murderous towards members of other colonies. They were machines, without fear, absolutely unstoppable. One of my legs came loose, torn away, ripped out at the roots. I could feel my waist being sawed through by grinding sharp mandibles. Okay, so that's that. Let's check on the old doohickey, and yes, it ran out, so let's start recording again. So you probably spent the last 5 minutes watching me rather than reading along with me, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes I'm able to hear the click as it stops. Next part is a brain squeezer. So this kit didn't fill them out. Cool, that means I get 2. With all the secrets we now must keep, secret identities, secret morphs, secret meetings, we need a code to break to another, to speak to one another, and a code that breaks down normal barriers of communication among different species. Below are 2 secret passages encrypted in 1 secret code. Break the code by looking for repeated letters. ET are the most often used letters. Look for patterns. The first word in the first message has been solved to get you started. Figure out the rest of the coded alphabet so you can write encrypted messages of your own. Okay. Break the code by looking for repeated words. Okay. Okay, let me just figure this out. Come on, Adam, this is meant for kids. 2 secret passages encrypted in 1 code. Break the code by looking for repeated letters. Look for patterns. The first word in the message has been solved. Figure out how the rest... Okay, so how do they get nothing? Look out for repeated letters. Hey? How does this work? Okay. That's weird. How does this work? My God. I've been defeated, but what does this mean? But 2 secret passages encrypted in 1... 2 secret passages encrypted in 1 secret code. So it means these 2, it doesn't mean the first one. Break the code by looking for repeated letters, and it gives us the most often used letters. Right, so there are 2 M's, and he's come up with N. So 2 mics puts November. How does that make sense? I'm genuinely baffled. Screw that. Let's move on. Christ Almighty, might come back to it later. Oh, I'm embarrassed now. I'm embarrassed. I don't know. I'm not surprised the kid didn't know how to bloody do it. Look for patterns. How has he got nothing? The first word in the message has been solved to get you started. So, my God. Gavoo. Right, it gives you the answers at the back. So let's get the answer for the... It doesn't even give us brain squeezer or answers. So nothing is normal here. Can't you? So right, okay. By looking for repeated letters. So that's supposed to be is. Well, how have they got IS from RH? How have they done that? How have they got nothing from that? I don't look for repeated. So there's... I really don't understand that. Nothing... So let's just look at that. R to I. How do they get I from R? I really don't know. I don't know. I'll try to figure it out later. Let's just move on for now. Animorphs Alliance Glossary. So many humans, aliens, and so much change. Everywhere there is change. Some words are especially important to remember, so here is a quick and easy Animorphs dictionary created especially for the Animorphs Alliance, with some hard-to-pronounce words included too. It gives us pronunciations. Andalite, pronounced Andalite. A four-legged, two-handed, four-eyed, highly intelligent species, like a cross between a deer or horse and a human. The good guys of the galaxy. Now that is controversial. Are they good? The good guys of the galaxy? We think that at start, but I'm not too sure anymore, honestly. Arith. So it's pronounced Arith. Ariths. Ariths. Okay. A warrior cadet. I usually pronounce it Ariths, but Ariths. Okay. I've learned something new from this handbook, so good on your handbook, I suppose. Blade ship, a powerful spaceship commanded by a Visser. He has a crew of 13 and lots of firepower. 13? Is that it? Is that canon? I don't think that's ever been mentioned. Pretty sure there's more than 13. Pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Bug fighter, a small space-going fighter that looks a lot like a bug, typically has a crew of 2, a Hawkbajir and a Taxxon. Chi. Che? What? So the Chi are pronounced Che. Che? Nobody pronounces it like that. Maybe I need to correct that. There's a few weird ones. Like the Elmist down here is Elimists. Wow, these are weird pronunciations, but do I have to run with it or do I just stick to what I believe? So the Chi are actually pronounced the Che. An android race that lives undetected among humans by projecting a holographic body. Controller, a Yeerk in a host body. Council of 13, the supreme ruling body of the Yeerk homeland. And, of course, all the forces, you'd imagine. Dome ship, the Andalite interstellar craft. It has a long shaft connecting 3 engines to a glass-enclosed dome. The dome covers a space-created meadow that duplicates the conditions of the Andalite homeworld. In crisis, the dome can be separated from the ship. Dracon beam, pronounced Dracon beam. A Yeerk weapon that fires a bright red laser beam and can be very deadly. I'm sure I just heard my camera click. What's it doing? No, it's still going. I'm being paranoid. So Elamists is apparently pronounced Elamists, and it's a plural as well. A nearly omnipotent race about which little is known, can travel across space and time, but have no known form or natural body. Estrine, pronounced Estrine, a person who can morph artistically. So that's Cassie. Ged. Again, why is there no pronunciation? An early host for the Yeerks, a clumsy ape-like alien. Hawkbajir, pronounced Hawkbajir. 7-foot-tall, snake-headed alien with legs and feet like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Has blades on its wrists and elbows, and also on its knees and tail, which can be used to cut bark for food, but now serve as weapons for the Yeerks who have invested the species. Kandrona, pronounced Kandrona, of course. A particle or source of these particles that make up the Yeerk diet. Yeerks carry portable Kandronas with them. Do they though? Do they? No. Not individually, no. Some, like, really high-level Vissers can, like Visser 1, for example. Morphing. Obviously, we know how to pronounce that. The ability to use another animal's DNA to transform your body into an exact duplicate of that animal's body. Pool ship. The mothership for the Yeerks, housing a large Yeerk pool, an onboard Kandrona, and facilities for many, many controllers. Looks like a 3-legged spider with a swollen belly and tentacles. 3 legs are the engines. Cero's kindness. The law that says that Andalites cannot pass along their morphing technology to others. Elfangor broke this rule when he gave the Animorphs the ability to morph. The Sharing. Club that helps recruit unsuspecting kids into being hosts for the Yeerks. And more than just unsuspecting kids, there are a lot of people that go into that, so, okay. Skritnar, pronounced Skreetnar. Skreetnar, with an emphasis on the Skreet. I thought it was Skrit, but yeah, again, this book's doing its own thing. Maybe it's genuine, I don't know. Smugglers and Renegade fighters, these ships are round, fat discs. These ships are round, fat discs with blinking coloured lights? Shouldn't it be their ships rather than these ships? Starsword, Elfangor's name for his ship. Taxxon, pronounced Taxon, apparently. Giant caterpillars, up to 12 feet long. They have rows of needle-sharp feet. Their mouths are small but ringed with sharp teeth. Voluntary hosts for the Yeerks, Taxxons are cannibalistic and murderous. Thoughtspeak, the ability to communicate through force. Varnax, a translucent purple creature with a mouth that has thousands of tiny suckers dripping slime. That was the one that Visser 3 used, I believe, in Book 2. Velik, this was met in Megamorphs, pronounced Velik, a creature from Saturn, A dust cloud of individual energy-seeking particles that form into a tornado of teeth and blades. In Yerk language, its name means pet. Oh, really? I don't think that was in the book, was it? Unless I completely forgot that. Visser, pronounced Visser. The Yerk equivalent of a warlord. A Visser obeys the Council of 13, the supreme ruling body on the Yerk homeworld. Vissers are numbered according to their rank. Visser 1 is the highest, then Visser 2, Visser 3, and so on. Yerk, and I like how the pronunciation just repeats the words. Yerk. Yeah, that's not a very helpful... that's not a very helpful book. A species of parasitic slugs who infest host bodies by taking over their brains. In their natural state, they are benign, but given the right bodies, they will make serious trouble. Yerk pool. A pool powered by Kandrona rays where the Yerks must go for nourishment every 3 days. Z-drive, or zero field drive. This interstellar function allows ships to pop out of real space into zero space and to travel many hundreds of light years away. And lastly, zero space. Okay. Where did we find the Z-drive or zero field drive? Where was that? Okay, that's cool to know. So zero space, also known as Z-space, anti-space. Any place in space where you tunnel through at faster than light speed and end up on the other side of the universe. It's not technically correct. Zero space is white coloured, unlike conventional space, which is dark blue with stars. And that's it. That's the Alliance Handbook. That's all you need to know. Please do give your ideas on how to do that brain squeezer, because I'm lost. I don't know how that works. So if you know how that's done, please do tell me, and I shall do it. Maybe I'm just being a freaking moron. It's been known to happen. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. That's the Alliance Handbook, and I shall see you for the next video, whatever it may be. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you next time. Ta-ra!